going on, guys? Welcome back to the Evil and Intoxicated, but it is the Ultimate Fighter Season 25 recap beginning of the show, and it was a crazy night, Ted. Let's jump right into things, man. Toothless Tom Galicchio going in there, big underdog tonight. He's going in against Eddie Truck Gordon. This is what we knew at the end of last week. So let's start right from the beginning. It started off right where it kind of ended. Faber, No Love, and TJ all arguing about the same thing that's been going on for a year now.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, first of all, Tom Galicchio, the human carpet. I mean, have you ever seen anyone with that much hair? And I tend to think the guy's proud of it because, well, he doesn't shave, right? So why not? That's just more manliness, right?
What about his candy?
You know what I'm saying? Look at this, huh? What about what?
What about his candy company as well? I mean, we're going to jump right into it, but I thought that was kind of funny. As a candy company, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was interesting. I saw him, like, filling up the gumballs and the jawbreakers and stuff like that. But going back to Garbrandt and TJ, well, you had Faber getting into it. Faber saying you quit the team, and then TJ saying no, you kicked me out of the team, kicked me off the team. So who knows who's right? You know what I mean? They could bicker on till the end of time, and I don't think we're ever going to know who's lying and who's telling the truth. I mean, as they say, it's somewhere in the middle. You got this side, you got that side. The truth is kind of somewhere in the middle, and I don't think we're ever really going to know. So, it was just boop, 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 just every other word was bleeped out, and they almost came to blows again.
You know what's cool, though, Ted, is having the live tweet. Like, I was live tweeting the whole time, so seeing everybody's reaction as the show kind of unraveled. And, of course, this is a situation that's been going on for a while, and there's a lot of people that don't know about it or aren't aware. So it's cool to kind of see what sides they're taking off of what they're catching off these episodes. A lot of guys are siding with TJ, I've been seeing, though, on Twitter.
Well, yeah, there was that notion that some people have this idea that TJ is being bullied. I mean, to me, by Cody. To me, if someone is being bullied, they either can't defend themselves or won't defend themselves. Now, TJ, we know he can definitely defend himself. Yeah. So to me, this is a tactical thing that he's doing. He has decided, hey, you know what? I'm pretty much gonna. He's calling Cody a bitch and this and that. But by and large, Cody is taking the offensive verbally, and then TJ might say a few things. But TJ's not coming at him. It's Cody, like I said, that's being the aggressor. So that to me is a tactical thing, and TJ's has decided, hey, you know what? We'll save it for the cage.
Yeah, and it's going to be an exciting one as this season unrolls. As a matter of fact, Diego Lima just messaged me, and he was saying this is going to be going on all season, Ed. So I actually just sent that out as a retweet. So
what's interesting is just today, I think it was announced that Cody is engaged.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, and Dillashaw actually tweeted him and said, hey, everything aside, congrats. And then Cody responded by saying, thank you. And so then people on the message boards were like, oh, what's this? They actually like each other? Forget it, I'm not watching The Ultimate Fighter. They were kidding. But the weird thing is that this has gotten the lowest ratings ever. I was reading of any season. I don't know. I can't figure it out.
I want to know what you guys are thinking about this. So let me and Ted know. You can find us on Twitter at Pure Evil MMA and also at Ted Check. We also have the open chat room, so Ted's going to be in control of that as people pop in and out of there. But, man, I got to say, I understand what people are saying with that because sometimes when you see a fighter, they go in there, and even though it's out of respect and they shake the other fighter's hand, it kind of takes away the excitement, the edge to it, I guess you can say, right? So I definitely understand why the fans are saying that. But you got to say congratulations. These are two guys that people are forgetting, kind of, watch each other grow into the UFC. So you got to, show props when deserved.
Oh, no, I agree. I mean, even guys that are adversaries can, that's a milestone in Cody's life. And, so everything aside, he's saying congrats. Now we get back to the adversarial relationship.
So as the episode started out, once that was, over and done with, We started getting into the story of Eddie Truck Gordon and kind of rewinding on his career, and he did great on that season of Ultimate Fighter. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing a couple of months ago, but they were showing us the fights that he had in the UFC, the last 3 losses that he had, against Josh Sam in the KO. That was a beautiful leg kick. Then we saw the Chris Dempsey and then the Carlos Jr., him getting submitted. And it was kind of a foreshadowing almost. So then before we get into that, Toothless Tom, they got into him.
Right.
And they brought up the KO candy service. So first off, what's your thoughts on this? I love it.
Well, yeah, I mean, MMA fighters, a lot of them have side gigs, right? Or maybe for Tom, it's a full-time gig. But it did kind of surprise me. It came out of left field. A lot of fighters, they do things related to fighting. This has nothing to do with fighting at all. It's just a business that he has.
Yeah.
And it's cool. That's his thing. He's doing his thing, so that's great.
And it fits him so well. I think he has like 3 or 4 machines that he was going around just doing a little quick cleaning. But the thing I wanted to talk to you about here, Ted, is that a lot of people forget he's training with Team Quest.
Sarah Longo.
Oh, I'm talking about Toothless Tom. Yeah, Eddie Truck Gordon does train with Longo.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Tom. Okay, I wasn't sure who he was training with. Okay.
So I got to ask you this question. We were introduced to this fight. How did you think this was going to play out?
Well, we knew that Galicio was better on the ground, better with submissions. However, Eddie has a wrestling background, so you'd think he'd be able to defend the takedown. But here's the factor that maybe not everyone considered is that he cut a massive amount of weight. Before he got into the Ultimate Fighter the first time, he was a 205er in Ring of Combat. Okay, then when he got to the Ultimate Fighter, he was a 185er. He was middleweight. Now he's down to 170. Can you imagine this guy? I mean, barn door shoulders, 6 feet tall, 170 pounds.
Crazy.
So, he had to be cutting a massive amount of weight. And he successfully did it probably because of his wrestling background. He's used to cutting weight. But still, a massive amount of weight to cut. And I think that really affected his cardio. Once he got taken to the ground, Galicio got a single leg and was able to get right into, I think, half guard. But once he got to the ground, I think he couldn't move. He couldn't do much of anything. I think his energy was sapped.
Going into this fight, man, I was kind of favoring Eddie. I'm not going to lie. Like I said, and this is nothing against Tom. I love Tom. I was so happy to find out that he was back on the season. I thought he was a good personality to have, but I wasn't expecting him to go toe-to-toe with Eddie like he was at the beginning, and he got clipped a few times, and I gained some respect for the jaw of Tom Galicio tonight.
Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Orlando Castro, Ted turned heel on the other live episode because he didn't want to answer any questions.
Ted, you're turning heels.
I turned heel. Orlando, I turned heel? When did I turn heel?
Orlando, what kind of questions?
I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't want to answer any questions on the other live episode. What the hell are you talking about, Orlando? Anyway, let's go on. He can answer if he wants to answer. I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding him. But anyway, Eddie was definitely the favorite. But once I saw Tom working with TJ, and it seemed like they had a good game plan. Yeah, clicking, working well together. And so that I think, and but for me, what did it was when Galicio said he worked really hard on his cardio. When he said that, and then knowing how much, I don't know exactly how much, but knowing how big Eddie is and how much he would probably have to cut to get down to 170, that kind of did it for me. And then I kind of said, yeah, you know what, I'm going to lean towards Tom in this one.
You know what, there was a couple of really nice overhand rights, almost finished Tom like I was just saying. But, Tom started out pretty strong as well. But as he got that takedown, you could kind of tell that Eddie was a little gassed there. And I got nervous. Right. And I thought it was a little weird how he was trying to peel apart Tom's legs instead of trying to get around the neck. What's your thoughts on that? Is that like an instinct or?
Well, it must have been. I think it's panic because you saw before he was training with Faber. Mm-hmm. This is what you go for. This, as soon as the arm comes around, that's the danger, mm-hmm. right?
Yep.
So I think it was panic. Oh, I'm gonna get this ankle. I'm gonna twist it. Meanwhile, this is getting cinched up on you like a cobra. or like a python or whatever.
Python.
So, yeah, so yeah, I think it was just panic mode,
It was just unfortunate. He was trying to fight it so long, and you kind of questioned, like, how long can Tom hold it for? But, man, that shit got really tight, and then he dropped. He literally dropped.
Yeah. Yeah, he arched his back, and they went backwards, and once that happened, it was sunk in for good.
It was all over, man, and Twitter was going crazy. Like I said, a lot of people were not expecting Tom to win tonight on Twitter, at least from what I saw. I mean, there might be more people tweeting now about it that I'm not seeing, but a lot of people were surprised by Tom's performance tonight, and I love what they're doing, Ted. We spoke about it last week with trying to connect the audience with the fighter, showing Tom at home, showing Eddie Chuck Gordon at home, being a father, cooking and training. I think they're doing an amazing job, and it's just a shame that we're coming through, and it's only episode 2, but what you said about the ratings kind of surprises me.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, here we're in the 25th season. Maybe it's just been played out. You know what I mean? Maybe it's run its course. I don't know. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, and yeah, look at Galicchio driven, or he was tearing up. He was crying, talking about how he's gonna go until the wheels fall off.
Yeah,
until he's disabled.
It was a Goonies moment almost. He was like, "I've come too far. I've come too far."
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was that's some damn good TV right there.
It reminded me of the Goonies in this part where they find the wishing well and they can all leave and give up on their adventure and give up on their dream of finding the treasure. And Tom just had like that perfect little segue there. It was really emotional, and I'm so happy that he won it. And I actually caught the very beginning. He won 10 grand for finishing and another 5 grand for finishing. He won 10 grand for winning the fight and 5 grand for finishing it. So he got 15 grand for that win.
That's nice. Yeah, well, I guess he's going to get a surprise because he thought he was only getting 5 grand. He says, "Oh, I can take my girl out with the 5 grand."
So he just released tonight on Tough Talk directly after he said that he actually was able to go out with his girlfriend on a cruise. So that was kind of cool because at the beginning of this episode, we saw Toothless Tom pushing a motorcycle that wouldn't start.
Yeah, that was that sucked. It sucked to see him like that. Yeah, like you're in hard times when you've got to push start something. That sucks.
So, Ted, the next thing for next week, of course, is Jesse Taylor back on it. And I kind of wanted to have you explain to our listeners, a little history about Jesse. I mean, that season Ultimate Fighter that he was on, he just absolutely killed it. But unfortunately, he wasn't able to unravel. Why don't you let everyone who didn't get to catch tonight's episode understand why?
Yeah, I mean, he won every fight on his season of the Ultimate Fighter, and he was poised to he was going into the finale, and I guess it was the night before the finale. He went on as Dana White said, he went on a drunken rampage in Las Vegas. JT Money, just what was he doing? I mean,
kicked out the limo window,
attacking people. And that was it. They gave him the boot.
The one thing that really pissed Dana off was he was like, "Oh, you don't know who I am. I'm a UFC fighter." That is so bad for our sport, for people to go around saying that while they're in a rage, like harming people. Like,
not good. Not good at all. Right. I mean, so that was it. It's like you had it and then you lost it. I mean, it kind of reminds me of a Super Bowl that happened a number of years ago, where one of the guys got mixed up with some prostitutes like the night before the Super Bowl. So he wasn't, and he was a marquee player, didn't play, just amazing. And then since that time, JT Money has fought quite a bit, right? I mean, how many times? 15, 20 times or whatever outside of the UFC, won most of those fights. So really fought his way back. And so now we get to see him against Mehdi Baghdad.
Baghdad, man. A huge favorite on season 22 of The Ultimate Fighter. He was on Team McGregor for that season, and he actually fought through that whole season with a broken hand.
Wow.
He did not make it very far, obviously.
Yeah, so that should be another good fight, I don't know. I'm going to have to look at these two guys, closely to see, I don't know. Do you know offhand who is favored in that one?
Off the bat, man, I would think that Jesse Taylor's favorite. I mean, at least if you're Ann, right? Ann was all about Jesse.
Oh, is Jesse? Oh, that's right. She does like him. He's one of her favorites.
Yeah.
She likes Cowboy. Who else does she like? I forget who else. And she likes Taylor. Cowboy's her number one guy. But did you see Cody Garbrandt's face when Eddie tapped to the rear naked choke? He was stunned.
He said he doesn't like losing, man. Yeah, I saw that. He looked pretty pissed, and I think they did a great job backstage talking about it. But man, it's just crushing for Eddie, man. It really is.
Well, the guy who's helping Garbrandt, who's that? Danny Castillo. Man, he was really pissed. I mean, he really let Eddie Gordon have it. You know?
He opened up. What was he saying? Just to update our audience.
I thought it was something about that. It didn't look like he wanted it. Yeah, he didn't look like he was there. Like that he was in the moment. That he was focused. You know.
To me, it seemed like he was there, and it's hard to see. Like, you can look at Jose Aldo, right? Jose Aldo's a great person to kind of contradict off of this. He goes in there, and some people might think he's scared, nervous, but it's just, you know, you can't really tell what's going through a fighter's head at the day of the fight. It could look off. We don't know if Eddie wasn't there. It would be unfortunate. This is the redemption. This is it all. Like, this is everything to these guys right now, and they opened up a lot about it, man. And it's just unfortunate that, you know, you would even think that he wasn't into it. So that must have been upsetting to Eddie to hear that from him.
Well, you wonder. I mean, because you know, in that background segment on Eddie Gordon, he has two other businesses that he owns, and then I would guess that his girlfriend or a wife.
Yeah, his wife.
I guess at one point it was fiance and now wife. That she does something too, because he's taking care of the kids during the day. So it sounds like she's got a job as well. So maybe the hunger isn't there. You know what I mean? I mean, he might have a competitive spirit.
Yeah.
But like with Galicchio's like
the Goonies, man. He's got the heart of the Goonies. Goonies never die.
Right, and Galicchio's like, I need this. Like, I need the money. Like, I really need this. You know. I don't know. Who knows really? You know what I mean? Who knows what was going through Eddie's mind at that point? And maybe it was maybe he just gassed out. You know what I mean? Maybe it was as simple as that. I don't know.
Unfortunately, man, Eddie Chuck Gordon is out of the competition at this point, which means Toothless Tom Galicchio is moving forward, so we're excited to see what happens with him. He kind of came out like, it kind of sounds like he's going to be in the finals, and I don't know if that's official, but he was making it sound like that on Tough Talk directly after.
Oh, all right. I didn't see any of that, but so you watched a minute or two, huh?
Yeah. Just like literally 30 seconds of it, he told us what he did with the money, and he kind of hinted towards it, and which is, I'm sure he's going to get a slap on the wrist for it as well.
See, yeah, when they promoted that, because he was sitting there on the couch with Karen and whoever the other guy was.
Cruz, yeah, Cruz.
Dominic Cruz. You know, they had him there, and I'm like, ooh, does that mean that he won, or does that mean that he lost? Like, what does it mean, if anything? You know what I mean? I mean, they could have had Eddie Gordon on. But having Galicchio sitting there, does that mean that he won the fight? You know, because they showed that photo or that image, they showed him there before they showed the fight. You know, so I'm like, oh, does that mean something? I don't know.
Ted, I got to ask you, who's the one fighter this season that you cannot wait to see get in there?
The one fighter? Oh, geez. I mean, probably Julian Lane.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that, man.
Julian Lane. Let me bang, bro. I do let you bang.
Bro, I do let you bang, bro.
Yeah. Let me bang again.
So honestly, though, man, everyone tonight, you told us at the beginning of the show the first episode didn't do that much ratings, but what I'm seeing on Twitter, man, I'm seeing a lot of reaction from a lot of people, and if you look at their profiles, it's a lot of people that don't even follow MMA every day. So it kind of makes me wonder, like, where are they seeing this promos? And it's hard for us to understand because we're so wrapped up in the game. But you got to question, like, this is their first time for that all. So what are they experiencing? So if this was your first episode of Ultimate Fighter, are you tuning in next week, Ted?
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought it was an exciting fight. You know. Because they both exchanged, they both hit each other pretty hard, you know, and then it went to the ground, and then it was, and there was a fight there for a little while, you know. Eddie he got rid of it one time. Got rid of the rear naked choke one time. So Tom really had to work for it. So I thought it was an exciting fight. It was a short fight, but an exciting fight with a finish.
Yeah.
And plus all the the bickering between TJ and and Cody, all that stuff. That's people eat that stuff up, that conflict. So and then you got the emotional stuff with delving into the backgrounds of the two fighters. So yeah, I think it had a little bit of everything.
So in case you guys missed last week's episode, you can check it out on Ted's channel, also on Apple, iTunes, Podbean, along with this episode as well. We're going to be doing this every week for The Ultimate Fighter, so make sure you guys tune in. It's going to be a blast. Ted, any closing thoughts on this episode before we move into some MMA news?
Let's see. I'm just looking here at my notes. I just wonder, like, we really got to the whole Faber, TJ, I got kicked off the team. No, you left. That whole thing. So I'm just wondering if that's just going to continue, or if they're going to kind of move on from that. Makes me wonder, and if Cody is actually going to try to, put his hands on TJ again, or if that got ended with the choke. Well,
I tweeted out tonight, Ted. I said, "Here we go again. TJ and Cody going at it, arguing about Dillashaw moving to Colorado / getting kicked out of Alpha Male." And Diego Lima, like I said, messaged me, man. He says that this is going to be going on all season long, Ted. All season long. So there's the answer to your question there. But you got to ask yourself about this. All of this commotion has got to get you pumped up for that final fight between TJ and Cody. You're building up a great backstory. Of course, the foundation is the original story of TJ leaving. So
right.
Let's see what happens there.
I'm just writing to our buddy Eastside Rider, Richard, and he says, "Sorry guys, I can't get into Tough." And I said, "Have you tuned in? Because I want to know if he's actually seen it. I think if he actually gives it a chance, he might get hooked." Oh, here's one other thought. When they showed Eddie Gordon's losses, it's just weird to see Josh Saman. Rest in peace. He's now deceased. Just weird to see him. You know what I mean? Just and that beautiful head kick that he threw. But it's tough to see, and to know that he's not around. It's kind of bizarre.
Beautiful finish, man. The head kick and then the jab that kind of ended. I don't know if it really connected that hard, but he was able to get it off so quick. He was such a fascinating fighter to watch.
Yeah. Definitely definitely an exciting fighter. Who knows how far he would have gotten, but it would have been great to see him continue. And
matter of fact, his last fight was supposed to be against Wale Bamboje before he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think that caught a lot of people off guard as well when that happened. So definitely rest in peace, Josh Salmon. It was amazing, kind of seeing that moment there. But bad night for Eddie Truck Gordon. We wish him well with his future endeavors as well as what's going to happen with Toothless Toms.